Pattaya City Expats Club is a non-profit social organisation and our speakers are volunteers. The club as such assumes no responsibility or liability for the professional reputation of or the quality of services provided by the speaker today.
Today we have our speaker is also from the Philippines, Chem Perez, on about a very important and inspiring subject. It's Planet Cleanup and what they've done just off their own bat. Chem, I'm not sure how much of his life story he's going to say, but he's been in Thailand for 15 years. He's found his wife here, and he's going to be sharing the journey. All right, and with all that out of the way, come up, Chem, and inspire us, please.
Right, good morning to everyone. First of all, I would like to say that it's such a great pleasure to be here standing in front of everyone and being able and given the opportunity to spread the good news. And the good news is the advocacy that I've started about raising more awareness about our global garbage crisis and restoration of humanity. So I call the volunteer organization the Good News #PlanetCleanup. I would like to start with a video, okay, to get you into the mindset of what we're talking about. Okay, so this video is done by one of our leaders in Bacolod. They did a cleanup. He edited the video.
Our oceans sustain life. An abundant ocean can feed 1 billion healthy meals every day, forever. But now, they are being filled and killed by throwaway plastics. The billions upon billions of items of plastic waste choking our oceans, lakes, and rivers, and piling up on land is more than unsightly and harmful to plants and wildlife. The equivalent of one garbage truck of plastic is dumped in the sea every minute. That's 18 billion pounds every year. Plastic is everywhere in our ocean, floating on the surface, mixing in the salt water, sitting on the ocean bottom miles and miles deep. And once in the ocean, never goes away. Over 1 million marine organisms are killed each year due to plastic pollution in the ocean. Zooplankton, the base of the ocean food chain, eat it, and so do we. Microplastic has been found in the water we drink. It's in our food, sometimes even in the air we breathe. Plastics become pollution that ruins our beaches and chokes sea animals. But we always have a choice to be a part of a solution. Think about it.
Right, thank you. So that video, I didn't play the whole video, but it was just an intro so that we could all get into the same mindset of what's going on with our planet today. That video was done by one of our leaders in Bacolod in the Philippines. So he edited it himself and he did the cleanup. We planned it together online remotely. Okay, so one of the main reasons I got into this thing is because I love animals. So does my wife. My wife is over here. She's there, Anne. And we noticed that there are a lot of suffering, okay, from the plastic trash. And as you can see, most of it end up in the ocean, and it's so most of it end up in the ocean, and it's coming up to the land as well, right? And that's actually sad. And like I was thinking so many times, like, how can we do this? This is such a big problem. It's like a worldwide thing, and how can we actually reach out to more people to actually just open their eyes and see that our world is actually dying, right? If nobody changes, if people stay the same, it's just gonna go down. All right, so I started a little study and I started to think, how do we keep this trash out of our ocean? There are many ways to do it, but I try to come down to the bottom line of what is the main solution for it. Okay, so first we check how does rubbish end up in the ocean or in the seas? There are basically three factors, which is the rain and winds, littering, and drains. So the rubbish on land actually ends up in the sea because of these three factors. And one fact that I picked up during my research was even fishing nets. So the fishing industry actually contributes to 40% of plastic trash in our oceans. Just fishing nets. That's 40% of the trash. So it's really a big thing to handle. And in the video earlier, you saw that there's like 8 billion pounds of trash get into the ocean yearly. Okay, so how do we keep trash out of our oceans? Can anyone give a guess? Yes, sir? Don't produce trash in the first place, yes. Anything? Anyone else? Recycling, yes, it's part of it. Okay, so basically don't use it, recycling, waste management, and it'll all boil down to the big S. It's called segregation. Okay, so when we segregate our trash, okay, similar to what's happening in the countries in Europe, they segregate their trash. They have a way much better system than countries here in Southeast Asia. And it does help waste management because it makes it easier for the next level of people who are, in charge of, the trash and the recycling. So the main thing we need to do is segregate our trash, since segregation is a very important step in waste management. So as a teacher, I've been a teacher here for 12 years, and we've always been teaching waste management. And I still don't get it. Like, the students learn it in their lessons, but they don't really apply it in their everyday life. So I was thinking there's something missing in this. Like, okay, we have it in our curriculum, we have it in our lessons, but why aren't the students like picking up from it? So there's something that's missing. And we found out that they need to be more aware. Okay, when someone is aware, then education becomes important, right? So it's like you teach the kid reduce, reuse, recycle, and they're like, oh yeah, that's nice, okay, whatever, next. But if you show the kid like, hey, our planet is, it's in a bad condition now. You see the trash, you see all these animals that are dying. We need to find a way to solve it. And they'll be like, oh yeah, look at all those animals. Oh yeah, that's kind of sad. How can we do it? Then they build an interest for the solutions to learn. Then education comes in. When we teach reduce, reuse, recycle, it will mean more to them. Like, oh, now I know how I can help our planet thanks to these lessons. But awareness needs to come first. So one example of waste management, we have the reduce, reuse, recycle, the 3 R's. There's one thing that I actually really like. It's related to what you said, this one. If you can't reuse it, refuse it. Okay, so we're dealing with a lot of single-use plastics as well, and that's a whole nother topic. Okay, that's something we can't stop because the whole world's gotten into a habit where they just take away coffees, they take away drinks, and that's a single-use plastic. And right now, I'm still in the process of finding a way, alternatives for that. Okay, so this is waste management, and another way to spread or create awareness is to educate other people about it. So we can teach them at home. It's either the parents teach the children, but when I do my planet cleanups, I invite children. So it could also be vice versa. The children teach the parents and remind their parents, hey, let's not throw, let's not litter anywhere. There's a bin, let's wait till we find a bin. We can teach them at school for teachers, and if we're not a parent or if we're not a teacher, we simply can be a good example. Okay, so this is how I came up with the good news, #PlanetCleanup. It's solutions for our global garbage crisis and restoration of humanity. I started it all by myself, cleanup equipments, food for volunteers and stuff. I privately funded it, and since it started growing on social media, I had some family and friends who would like give a little bit of donations. And of course, we pushed it forward to keep on moving this movement. Right, so how did it start? Okay, so me reflecting upon my life and what's my purpose in life, I came about this, and the world is full of bad news. Okay, it's kind of sad. The bad news is school shootings, wars, extreme poverty, the global garbage crisis, and the list goes on. But really, at the end of the day, it depends where we guys look. Okay, so if we look at bad news, then we get bad vibes, we get the bad energy, we feel sad, we feel low, our vibration goes low. But if we look at good news, we feel happy, okay? We feel joy, okay? We feel all positivity, and our vibration goes high. And when that vibration is up there, it's easy to share and it's easy to relate with others, you know, who are in the same vibration. So the good news was born, okay, to increase awareness about to people and let people know that there still are good people and good news in this world, right? We just need to know where to look, okay? So in order to make good news, it's in every one of us. We just need to share more, care more, and love more. And that's where I came up with my line, one love for our planet, our home. Okay, so I use these emojis. They're basic emojis. You'll see it here. You'll see it on the shirt. Yeah. Okay. Basically, that means love Earth 100%. So when you see it, that's what it means. That's what I want to show to the world. Okay, our mission. Okay, the mission of the good news is basically, I wanted to start with awareness, because I'm done teaching reduce, reuse, recycle. I've seen it. It's not really working, you know, unless there's always a follow-up. So we create awareness in two sectors. One would be our worldwide garbage problem, and the second would be to restore humanity. So in order to achieve these and make solutions for this, I have activities and events. One is called PlanetCleanup, and for Restore Humanity, it's called PlanetCleanup Humanity. Okay, the content. If you're curious and you want to see it, if you want to see more of the activities and stuff, most of it will be on social media. And all of them are actually connected, okay, to one activity, and I call it Planet Cleanup Pay It Forward. Okay, this allows people who don't have the time but are willing to help, you know, they can pay it forward by doing good deeds, or even just doing a good deed, making a video and then just sharing it. We share it on the page. It just spreads the good news. Then it gives an opportunity for everyone to know where to look. They can choose bad news or good news. And the more the good news is, we probably could change the world. Okay. Oh, sorry. Here are examples of the events that I've done in Thailand. I started in 2019, just before COVID, in April. And I did my first cleanup with my mom and two friends from the Philippines. And from that, it started to grow. So here are pictures. That's my students. I invited my students to join, some friends from Pattaya. I started doing Planet Cleanup Humanity, where we started helping victims of COVID, the ones who's lost their jobs, and you know, they didn't have any income. They were sleeping on the streets. So I used the sponsors that I have from my cleanups to provide food, and we gave away food to like hundreds of people here in Pattaya. And last year we were able to do feeding programs to about 1,000 people in the Philippines through collaborations. Okay, no, I don't have enough money to feed 1,000 people, but through collaborations and, you know, meeting people with the same mindset, we're actually able to do so much. From cleanups all the way up to humanity activities, I'm starting to get into education as well. That's why I'm right here in front of you, so I could actually orient you and let you know that there's some good news around the world, right? I'm tired of seeing the bad news. It's kind of sad, really. It just kind of gets you low. But when there's good news, you always say, hey, whoa, that's cool, that's nice. So these are our events, and okay, I would like to explain the benefits of our events. Okay, the benefits of our events or activities, we have basically two activities. One is Planet Cleanup, and the other one's Planet Cleanup Humanity. Okay, so for Planet Cleanup, okay, when we have this event, these are the benefits that it gives to the people who join cleanup drives. So we create more awareness. It's like a social gathering, like people get to meet each other. It's networking. We give back to the community. And when I started it and until now, I make sure there is free food and free drinks for anyone who volunteers. It's like an exchange of energy. It's not like you just get someone to volunteer and you're like, hey, thank you for your time. Post it on social media. We did a cleanup. Thank you, volunteers. No, it's an exchange of energy. And when people come to help, they give in their time, they give in their efforts, they sweat under the sun, and the least that we could do is actually just give them some food. In the long run, my vision is homeless people, okay? We're talking about, I don't know, maybe worldwide, but in my mind, because I'm from the Philippines, it would be Southeast Asia. So homeless people we see sleeping on the road, all of them would be invited or welcome to join a Planet Cleanup. And when they do join, they have a free meal, like a free dinner, you know, at least, you know, something for them to do. And we get to help, we get to help them as well. Okay, so here are examples of the Planet Cleanups when I started. It was just 4 of us, Planet Cleanup 1. That was my mom taking the picture, and I was with 2 friends in Wong Amat, Pattaya, Thailand. This was like next to the Sanctuary of Truth. This Planet Cleanup was in April 2019, just before COVID. Then by Planet Cleanup 5, with the help of social media, we had a volunteer group of about 75 people, and mostly Thai people, and we had a very big cleanup there. This one in Hat Yai, I just put that because when you're dealing with social media, I started editing videos on landscape. So you can see landscape, and here it's on portrait. The reason is most of everyone has their phones, and the time that they get to look, it's on their phones. And if you have it on this format, it's smaller. It looks smaller. So I just put it there so you know it's easier. It looks bigger this way. So for Planet Cleanup Humanity, okay, these are the benefits that we get. So we share, care, and love more. The TGN seminars, orientations, we'll have educational workshops. I'll be working with social media influencers in the Philippines. You will see it in the videos later. And we want to do this together with feeding programs. Because one example I would like to share with you is in the Philippines, we have feeding programs where groups of people, usually brotherhoods or fraternities, they gather up some money and then they go to a poor place and then they do the feeding program. The problem that I see is, because I've joined them and I've, you know, gave in some money to collaborate, we fed about 1,000 people. The thing is, it's just going there, feeding people, and then you have your photos and then you're just showing it to other people that, hey, I'm the good guy, right? I'm good, I'm helping them. It feels good that you're helping. But the problem is the poor people get stuck in that situation. It's like you're giving them fish rather than teaching them how to fish. So if we teach them how to fish, then they can become more sustainable themselves and they can actually improve their life. So when it comes to the feeding programs, we're okay, we can feed them as long as we have an educational workshop or a seminar. And this is my job, to find the people who would like to do like recycling workshops or anything related to saving our planet. Here are some samples. Okay, that's me doing orientations here. That's in Burapa Best School, and one is in MIS. And this is along the streets in Pattaya where I used to get stars on Facebook. People would send me stars. Stars is like a currency that you can change into money because of the content you do. But I didn't take the money. I just took the money. I bought some food. I made a video and I said, hey guys, thanks for your stars. I'm using this money now to buy food for these guys. So it's all there. The content's there. You'll see it. And it's nice. It's really heartwarming, the feeling, especially seeing the poor people, you know, like they look at you, they smile, they say thank you. I think that's priceless, right? It's better than like probably owning an iPhone or something. Okay, so I want to show you a video of the humanity activity that we did in the Philippines just after COVID lockdowns have opened.
We show ugliness, so I know I can hate. And don't let me show evil, though it might be all I take. Show me love, show me love, show me love. All that I could do was remember you. Yeah, I usually say no, but if you throw me love, I'll throw you some more. Let me show cruelty, though I may make mistakes. Don't let me show ugliness, so I know I can hate. And don't let me show evil, though it might be all I take. Show me love, show me love, show me love. Show me love.
All right, so that's an example. That was the first program that we had for helping out the people who had who had financial problems during COVID. It was funny because looking at them through the windows of the car, it's like zombies coming, and it's kind of sad. There are a lot, but that's the least we could do for that moment. And it was a good experience. What was really good about it was I partnered up with a college friend of mine who owned a little restaurant in the Philippines, and I said, hey, I'll buy 100 meals. Here's the money, just give them away and promote your business and say that you're helping people. And he said, okay, we'll do it. And what was really good was he had 2 sons, and the 2 sons had an experience of their life. They never experienced giving away food. And when they did that, they said, Papa, it's so nice. This feeling is good. So yeah, that was one. Here's another one, okay? Many people think that Planet Cleanup is just all about cleaning the rubbish, but I want you guys to know that Planet Cleanup is cleaning up any problem in the planet. So this is another story about Planet Cleanup humanity. So we try to restore humanity. There are many ways we can. This started with a little boy in South Cotabato, Philippines. His name was Justin, 6 years old. So we have a team in the Philippines that do cleanups, and one of them messaged me on Facebook, and he said, hey Chem, I found this boy. He was cleaning up. Someone posted it. The boy was just cleaning up on like a festival in their town. People dancing, you got loud music, people were partying. But there was this young boy, Justin, who was picking up all the recyclable bottles and putting them in a bag and gathering it. And my team leader in the Philippines said, can we give this guy a shirt? He said, okay, I think he did a good job. Can I give him a shirt? I said, yeah, sure, let's give him a shirt. So the team brought him a shirt. So you have him over here. So he got his shirt. These are the team members of South Cotabato, Philippines. And I think this is going to be going up on YouTube. So Homies for Life, TGN leaders and volunteers, thank you very much for your trust and support. Together, we can create more awareness about our global garbage crisis and restoration of humanity. So they got him a shirt. The story doesn't end there, okay? The boy was happy. We silently made a plan with the mother. So the boy didn't know. We found with social media is awesome. You can really find anyone, learn anything through social media. So we got in touch with the mom. We told the mom, hey, we want to give a shirt to your son because of this thing he did. Can we get your address and stuff like that? We'll send people to get you the shirt. And it did happen. When that happened, the next step was he goes trending on Facebook in South Cotabato, in that area. People start sharing the post where he received the shirt. And people in that area saw it. Now the SK, okay, so this one, SK is it's a youth group in local government. So they went to visit Justin just to have a picture. So this happened last November. And they went there to have a picture and say, hey, this is the guy. He's a good example. And because of that, it moves on to another good news. The mom, okay? The mom and the other parents in his little town, they got inspired. They're like, oh, the guy gets a shirt. Now the local government comes to have a photo with him. Let's do something. So, guess what happened? Okay. Justin, with the help of his mom, organizes a planet cleanup in his community. So he gets the kids in his community, the parents come up, and they organize a cleanup. And that's him right there. He's our youngest leader, 6-year-old leader. They do a cleanup. Okay, so you think it's done? No, not yet. It's not yet done. With the law of the universe, manifestation, and everything, it's all real. You just need to have your frequency. Your vibration is high. You have that good thing. Good things happen. Good things come. My mom calls me and she says, hey, I have a friend who wants to plan like a feeding for some kids for her birthday at the end of the year. Maybe you have an idea? Where is she from? She's from South Cotabato. So I'm like, whoa, okay, let's link it. So I made a group, put her, the sponsor, together with my team. They cooked up something, so they made an event where it was focused for the kids, these kids here, this group. We wanted to acknowledge their good deeds. So with the sponsor, we were able to make a little party with games and stuff. And before I'll show you the videos, but this is a video where Justin receives his cap. Hey guys, we finally found Justin, the 5-year-old boy who started collecting trash during an event in their town in South Cotabato, Philippines. And thanks to the Homies for Life, we were able to reach out and give him a TGN shirt as a token for stepping up for our planet and being a great example to the people in his community. Good job, Justin. Keep it up. Okay? We can do it. We're not alone. One love for our planet. One love for our home. Peace.
T-shirt para kay Justin din. Isa siya, mabuting bata. Justin! Good, pakakuan, mas makadalamig mga schools sa pwede kasi lumakang. Okay, try natin pa sa taon, kag meat bread. Meat bread.
Sulta to kuya.
Sulta. Try. Picture din kay Justin.
Salamat po sa The Good Juice Planet. Bye-bye.
Yeah, thank you so much. So let's move forward. This was the 2023 year-ender sponsored charity event. So we have our team members here with the TGN shirts, there with the hat. These guys, they all came. I love these guys because they really support it. And it's not because I forced them to. It's because they see it and they think it's the good thing. And because of that, they've been getting attention also from people in their community. And they're saying, wow, Chem, what you're doing is we're getting famous for doing good things. So, okay, I'm happy about that. We also gave them certificates and school supplies. Okay, so these kids live in a remote area where it's kind of sad because Justin, in order for him to go to school every day, Mondays to Friday, he walks through the mountains and he rides his father's back to cross a river, about 20 meters from one end to the other end to get to the school. So we're probably thinking of maybe making a floating raft or something so that he could. But that's something in the future. Next up, how do we spread the good news? Okay, so I was thinking about it. Okay, what's the best way we could spread the good news, right? And I think the best way that we could spread the good news right now is through social media because everyone's on it. Well, most of everyone's on social media. And that's what we do. So the good news, we have 3 platforms where we put our content, which is Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. And Facebook is the most is my primary place where I upload my content. If you have your phones right now, I have 2 minutes for you guys. Check Facebook and try searching hashtag PlanetCleanup. Got 2 minutes. You can whip out your phone and then search for hashtag PlanetCleanup, and you'll see our activities there. So based on my experience on digital marketing, I used this tool, the hashtags, to categorize the activities that I do with the good news. So we have hashtag PlanetCleanup. We have hashtag PlanetCleanup Thailand for activities in Thailand. We have hashtag PlanetCleanup Philippines. And we have hashtag PlanetCleanup Malaysia. We've done one cleanup in Malaysia so far. And in the pipeline of countries, we have Sri Lanka, Bangladesh, and India. We're in talks to start cleanups there. It's coming soon, hopefully this year. But right now, my main focus is in the Philippines, and maybe build more here in Thailand and help the poor people. So, I don't know. Have you seen it? Have you tried it on your phone and check hashtag PlanetCleanup? Yeah. What do you see? Okay. So because of social media, guys, the good news was able to spread all around. This is the map of the locations we have in the Philippines as of this month, February. Okay. There we go. So this all started in April last year, 2023, after the COVID lockdowns. I started it here in Thailand 2019. 2020 was COVID. We couldn't get gatherings and stuff, so we couldn't do anything. And then I see all these poor people hungry on the streets. I said, okay, all my sponsors, I reached out to them and said, maybe you could give a little bit. I used some of my money. Then we started doing Planet Cleanup Humanity. And April last year, 2023, I was lucky to meet a Filipino vlogger who had like about 50,000 followers on his Facebook account. And I invited him to join. He joined. I got to meet him. And because of that, when he posted that he joined Planet Cleanup, a couple of Filipinos started messaging me. Said, how do we join? How can we join? So I came up with my own plan of how I can teach people to be leaders, cleanup leaders, and start their own cleanup drives in their own community. And the reason is I want them to be good examples to other people in the Philippines and the rest of the world. So you see the colors, okay? So I use a color thing. So if it's white, it means we don't have anyone. I didn't meet anyone yet, but if we have the blue one, I'm in talks with someone who's interested to be a leader, so we might have a cleanup within the next 1 or 2 months for the blue ones. If you have the yellow ones, like this one, Palawan, that means there were 2 cleanups that happened already in Palawan. If you have an orange one, like here, Laguna and Cavite, that's 3 cleanups. And if you have red, that means that's 4 cleanups above. And once we reach those 4 cleanups above, that means the team is activated. That means they're already in the community. Because they're already, continuing the cleanups. They always update me anyway, and I know there's a cleanup. So this month, I think we have like 8 cleanups that are going on in the Philippines, different dates, just this February. What was interesting is when I do numbers, Planet Cleanup 1, Planet Cleanup 2, in April 2023, I was at Planet Cleanup 16. April 2023, Planet Cleanup 16. Today, we're at Planet Cleanup 84. Right? So 16 to 84, it hasn't even been a year. And I'm amazed. It's not really me pushing it. I'm not really using so much money, It's just the people and their love, I'm meeting the right people who love Earth and love nature. And they're the ones doing it. I just support them in what I can and, give them ideas and stuff. So this one's our team in Surigao. Clint, leader, this is their place. Okay, this team is in Palawan. The leader is a tour guide. Okay, so she did a cleanup here. South Cotabato, these guys are a group of skateboarders. And it's nice. I got some young 20s in their young 20s that are interested already to, be part of this. So South Cotabato, these guys are here. Here are the other Planet Cleanup Philippines teams. So this is the same team, but on a different cleanup. That's South Cotabato, Nueva Ecija. He's a chef. He's a leader. Tattoo artist leader, Negros. This is in Bacolod. This one over here, Clint, unemployed, still trying to find his way in life, but he has time to help save the planet. And I tell him, okay, if you organize a cleanup, tell me how many people, feed them. Okay, feed them for helping you. I'll support you, you support them. This one is James in Cagayan de Oro. And this was the first Planet Cleanup, the first one in the area that had the biggest group. There were a group of 35. He invited his family, he invited his neighbors. Because I said, okay, I'll get food for the volunteers. He said, I'm gonna invite the whole neighborhood. And yeah, we did it. They were all happy. This one is in Zambales. This is near Subic area. My two sisters are involved. Okay, so that's them. Right. So here are examples of before and afters. Okay, so I'll just show you two before and after pictures of one of my team's best cleanups that they've done. So they were from Bacolod, Philippines, and this is a before picture. You see all the trash down here. It looks like a rainbow, but not a beautiful one. And after, so they cleaned that one up. The team here is it's a good team because 9 adults and they got 9 children. So the children are actually experiencing, taking care and protecting our environment at such a young age, which is good. Because at the end of the day, they're the ones who will inherit the earth after us. And before I thought about it myself, before I die, I want to leave something, and I hope this one will help. And it's done. It's like I don't want to boast about it, but I need to let you know, many people got inspired, many people got motivated to do it, and they still are. Here's another one. Okay, so this one took 2 days. 2 half days, Saturday and Sunday. I didn't tell them to do it, but they did it out of their own heart. I funded the food and the equipment, of course, just to get them started, just to get, because sometimes when I think about the Philippines, it's kind of the government and how it's run, they kind of oppress the people, keep them down there, and it's like the poverty it's not being solved. But because of this, the Filipino people, even if they don't have much money, they can actually show their worth, and they can show, what they can do, what skills they can do. And it's good. It's motivating them. So that's it. Got cleaned up. Sometimes it's unbelievable, so I really put it back so you can see it. So that's it, and that was the cleanup after. Okay, awesome, right? When I saw that, sometimes, okay, we plan the cleanups online on video call, and then they said, okay, Sir Chem, I'm just gonna edit the video. I'll send it to you tomorrow. Okay? I said, yeah, take your time. This is voluntary, no pressure. You're not getting a salary or anything. Next morning, I wake up, get on my phone. My wife's like, come on, you're on your phone in the morning. You haven't had your coffee yet. I'm I need to see. There must be good news. So I find out, I see this, and sometimes I cry. I'll cry because what I've been working for, just by myself, okay? Now, a lot of people in the Philippines are doing it and following it, and I think it's good, not just for me, but for them and for the whole country. Okay, next. This, I'm gonna share it. It's in Filipino, but I can translate it in English. So, we have a purpose, okay? The purpose of the good news is we do we call it KKK. Don't be confused with the Ku Klux Klan, because yes, in the it's gonna make you remember, right? Because in the Philippines we had this national hero Apolinario Mabini, and he started a group called the KKK as well, which represented freedom, peace and the future for the Filipino people. Okay, so I'm using this so the Filipino can relate, but it's not in any way connected to those white guys with white socks over their head. So KKK in the Philippines, this is the purpose, this is the reason we have the good news. Here we go. Kalikasan. Kalikasan means nature. Okay, so we do it for nature. Kabataan, children. We do it for the children. And kinabukasan, which means the future. Okay, so the main purpose of what I'm doing right now, what my teams are doing now, what I'm teaching them to do, is we need to do this for KKK, for nature, for the children, and for the future. And when we do it, we have planet cleanup activities. Okay, our planet cleanup activities have a culture. It's also a KKK culture. And it's more simple. I tell my leaders, whenever you have a planet cleanup, make sure everyone experiences this culture. They can feel it, okay? Kalinisan means cleanliness. It's a cleanup, right? Kainan means eat together. And kwentuhan. Kwentuhan means talk together. And because of this is a solution to our worldwide garbage problem. And eating and talking together with a group restores humanity. So we're able to hit those two sectors of the good news. Hi guys, this is Chem, the founder of the Good News Planet Cleanup. And as this year ends, I would like to say thank you to all the volunteers that gave their time to join our mission in creating more awareness about humanity and our global garbage crisis. More importantly, I would like to give a shout out to all the TGN leaders who made all of these possible. With your help, we were able to make impact in your communities and the rest of the Philippines. So here we go. Surigao del Sur leader, Chem Perez. Cebu leader, Z-Dreads Gaming. Negros Occidental leader, Errol Alova of Artihan Studio. Muntinlupa leaders, Saimilena Maclabarejos and Christian Co. Cotabato leader, Ben Aroma and Homies for Life. Zambales leaders, Bettina Perez de Tagle of Sunny Corner and Carlo Rojas of Surf Theory. Nueva Ecija leaders, RJ Posadas, Mark Macapagal, Ren Tomas, and Ron Riate of Positivo. Cagayan de Oro leader, James Kepanes. Antipolo leaders, Bobby Briones and Jeff Reville. Palawan leader, Doray Sagarino. Tarlac leader, Jerome Razon of Unweed. Tondo leader, Rogen Reyes. Davao leader, Mark Pacres. Cavite leaders, Rene Dineros. Romel Cesa, Nard Arcilia of Canabrain Department. Lexter Donis and Christian Arcina. And last but not the least, special thanks to Lansangan, the guy who sparked Planet Cleanup Philippines. Keep motivating and inspiring people, man. That's the good news. By the way, I have some guys who also want to say something to all of you TGN leaders and volunteers. Check it out. Hey guys, this is Speedy Boy.
Mga brother, lahat sa inyo sa The Good News at sa Planet Cleanup, sa lahat ng volunteers at sa mga leaders. Good job, keep up the good work mga guys. Matitindi kayo mga, just keep it up at hang tight. Manalalo tayo dyan, basta keep cleaning it up, keep doing the good vibes, man.
Alright, yeah, bro.
Alright, man. Peace mga guys. I'll see you soon.
Alright guys, it's Mike Swift.
Yeah, what's up, Planet Cleanup? The good news. You know what's the good news? It's that all these leaders continuing to give us that good energy so we can continue this movement of cleaning up the planet. Keep it up, guys. Salamat sa inyo. Because of you guys, we live in a better world. Salamat.
Right, cheers, thanks man. Right guys, this is Armando.
Hello guys, Planet Clean Up, the good news, the good news, Planet Clean Up, yung mga organizer nun, yung mga head nun, tsaka mga sa volunteer, yan, nagpapasalamat kami sa inyo, sana ituloy nyo pa yung mission nyo, mabuhay kayo, love you guys.
Right, cheers, thanks, okay yun. Right guys, Boss Toyo.
Yes, gusto ko lang i-shoutout yung mga Planet Cleaners sa Planet Cleanup project ng The Good News, yung mga leader tsaka mga cleaners nyo. Yan, ang ganda ng inyong hangarin, papalinis yung ating environment. Tuloy nyo lang yan si Toy, Moment.
You'll find a video on the page. I can show you later, but let's move on to the next part. Okay, how can you be part of the Good News Planet Cleanup? So number one is get on the page, follow it. This is a free one, and you can actually be part of us. Is by clicking a like, sharing our posts, and writing comments. The reason is, every time you do this, what happens is the people in your network, in your social media network, get to see it. And you be part of sharing the good news. Then the good news, spreads some more. The second would be a sponsor and donate. Okay, so right now I've been funding it privately. I have some of my family members who've seen what I've been doing. They've been donating. Sponsors, I work with sponsors to provide food and stuff because I really want it to be transparent. I know how to make money. I have business, but I don't want to mix the business with this. This is the way I want to give back, right? It's not about money. I tell my leaders, this is not about money. Well, you need money to make it run. You need money to buy the food. You need money to buy the equipment. Let me handle that, okay? I made sponsorship letters for them to use so it becomes sustainable in each place in the Philippines. But yeah, that's in the process right now. The next one is you can be a leader or a volunteer in your area. Of course, I would be your mentor. I would teach you how to start your own cleanup. I have a list like three-phase planning to get your own Planet Cleanup started in your own area. And the last is buy Planet Cleanup merch. Although this one kind of changed because I thought about it, first selling it, and when we're on social media, there are a lot of people who will copy, pirates. They'd copy it, print their own shirt, sell it, and say, hey, we're part of the good news, we're selling it. And then they keep the money, nothing goes to the good news. Not good. So just recently, I decided to stop selling it. I'll have the caps there, but those are probably the last batch I'm selling. And I'm just giving it out for free to the volunteers and leaders. The reason I do it is because I don't want this shirt to be like, the value of this shirt is not in money. Like all our shirts right now, we need to buy it, right? We buy it from the shop. We have a Louis Vuitton or a Gucci or something. But this shirt, you don't buy it. You can't buy it. You earn it. You earn it by organizing a Planet Cleanup or joining a Planet Cleanup for 3 times as a volunteer. You get the shirt. And doing this, I realized, is the value is not monetary, but the value is in the person wearing the shirt. So when you see someone wearing that shirt, then, oh yeah, that guy cleans the planet, I'm sure. And in this manner, what happens is the shirt becomes a symbol of hope for our planet, and it becomes a symbol of hope for the future of the next generation. In the Philippines, that's what's going on now. Many people have been asking me already, where can I buy the shirt? Can I buy it? I've said, sorry, it's not for sale. You need to join a cleanup. So it's going good. For funding, though, I have other plans where I will be collaborating with other brands in the Philippines, and that's a business side. I collaborate with them, get some funding from the collaboration. Like we'll be selling limited edition shirts, limited edition 100. After that, it's gone. Then we go to the next edition and stuff. So yeah, because right now I'm reaching a point where my funding, I need like the funding for the Planet Cleanup. I'm not being pressured or anything. I can handle it, but it's good to get more people who are interested in the mission or have the same mindset. Okay.
The way an ecologist describes human behavior is as an action. What you do is what the whole universe is doing at the place you call here and now. You are something the whole universe is doing in the same way that a wave is something that the whole ocean is doing. Nature, human nature included, is an organism. And an organism is a system of orderly anarchy. There is no boss in it, but it gets along by being left alone and being allowed to do its stuff. We need a new kind of consciousness. Because if we don't experience ourselves that way, we mistreat our environment. We treat it as an enemy. We try to beat it into submission. And if we do that, comes disaster. Underneath the superficial self, there is another self, more really us than I. And if you become aware of that unknown self, the more you realize that it is inseparably connected with everything else that there is. That our real body is not just what's inside the skin, but our whole total external environment.
I hope you enjoyed it. It's so, I don't know how to say it, kind of bittersweet seeing those kids smiling on a pile of trash. It's like they're having a good time, but kids are not supposed to do that. They should be playing, you know, they should be in a playground or something. So we'll be working on that. We'll see when ideas come up. But I'd like to end my orientation by saying thank you for your time and, like, you know, paying good attention, lending me your ears for me to help spread the good news. And what got me started was a saying by this Indian guy when I was in college, or I think I was in high school. His name's Mahatma Gandhi, and he's popular for the saying, be the change you want to see in the world. And, okay, so I shortened it up. I just said, be the change to see the change. And that's the Good News Planet Cleanup. Thank you very much, guys.
Does anybody have any questions? Okay, here I come.
Yes, sir. Right at the end of your presentation, I saw something that is always a problem, You had bag after bag after bag of waste plastic. What do you do with it?
Okay, good idea. Good question. All right. Currently, what we do is it's part of the logistics side of it. When we collect all these bags, okay, in any cleanup, I inform the leader and tell them, like, first what you can do is communicate with the city hall or the municipal hall and request for a garbage truck, which sometimes, usually, they would have it. But sometimes they don't. They say, oh, truck not available. So I tell them to gather the trash and move it to the next nearest collection site where the government trucks go through. So that's what we're doing for now. I have bigger plans in the future. If we have trucks and stuff, we'll be picking up the trash, sending it to a site where we can do a WTE. It's called waste to energy. So like in Singapore, they have these big machineries where they put in landfill trash, and it burns the landfill trash, creates heat energy, charges some batteries, or it could be connected to the grid to provide electricity. Smoke goes up a chimney with multiple filters. Now these multiple filters fill up with all the carbon and whatever deposits from the smoke. Pure air comes out. These filters are like, they mix it with water and cement. They use it for roads, or they ditch it in like some water, some pool or something they have in Singapore. And that's what I like to happen here in Thailand. That's what I like to happen in Vietnam, in the Philippines and stuff. But slowly by slowly, as the network grows, we find people who actually are willing to help. And they got, like I tell my leaders, every one of us, we all have our own special powers. Like you have a special power that I don't, but if we share our special powers, then something could happen. It's just like Captain Planet, the rings, and they say, let's form Captain Planet, and they share their powers, and then we get Captain Planet. I hope I answered your question, sir.
Okay, on the other side.
Yep.
Hello, Chem. I'm Frank here. It's a beautiful presentation, but personally, I would like to see some pictures. You have pictures of spreading the good news. You have pictures of the place cleanup and places, and after cleanup, you have shown us 2 examples of it. But what I'm really curious to know is if you could perhaps produce some pictures of 3 months after the cleanup and 6 months after the cleanup. The point is, good news is one thing. Whether the good news delivers results is another thing. I mean, you show any places in Philippines that you have done good work. If I'm to sponsor, right, I don't see how I can put money in if I don't see the results that you deliver. Whether the beach gets contaminated or people keep littering on it, and so if that happens, right, we would like to know why your good news hasn't really effectively delivered the results. I mean, it's very often, it's like a toilet in the airport, right? You have the cleaner cleaning it, and just after 1 hour, right, you have taken picture of the, the toilet being cleaned, but 1 hour after that, it's all soiled, and tainted, So, I think results are very important too, as much as it sounds very sweet and beautiful and, on the screen, So, just curious. Yeah.
Yes, I appreciate it. Yeah, that's, it's not the first time it's been brought up, okay? And the reason I do it, okay, and from my experience in doing cleanups is you are right. You do a cleanup, you come back 2 days, 3 days later. There's some places, some beaches I've went twice, thrice to do a cleanup. It still comes back. So when I do cleanups, I have this short little speech I tell the volunteers, and I hope it'll also be a message for you guys. Thank you guys for coming here, for being present for this cleanup. I just have 2 things to tell you before we start. One is good news and one is bad news, right? Let's start with the bad news. Bad news is, like what you said, the rubbish that we clean up today, give it a couple of days or a week, you come back here, the rubbish will be back. That's the bad news, right? Because people are not aware yet. But the good news is, you guys are here today, And we're going to be putting this up, and we're going to be good examples to the community, to the whole world, whole social media market. And what happens is, for each, this is the philosophy to it. We're a good example, you see it, right? Maybe not, it doesn't have any results yet. The results are not instant, okay? We're building the awareness. And what happens is, for every Planet Cleanup we have, people see it like, hey, I want to join, I want to join. And when we do have someone that joins a Planet Cleanup, then that's one less person in the world that will be littering. And the plan is to get more people to join cleanup so they have that experience. Last night, I had a chat with a new team that we had in Olongapo City, next to Subic in the Philippines. And they had a cleanup last Sunday, and what happened was he vlogged it, and it was like a commentary type of cleanup. And in that cleanup, he was speaking Filipino, but there was something that he said that was very important that touched me. Is in Filipino, I'll translate it, but this is what he said while he was cleaning up. He said, like, you know what, I've joined cleanups before, but they were company cleanups. You know, the company tells all the employees to come join, so it wasn't really with me to join. But this cleanup that we did last Sunday, and I was really willing, and I prepared it because they're content creators. They want to, make content. And one line that he said, that was very important, was, just joining this cleanup, my perspective has changed. And he messaged me and he said, like, Chem, I do moto vlogs. He rides on motorbikes and he vlogs where he goes and stuff. And he said, you know what you're doing, actually, it's real content, it's positive and everything. It's not the same like other people post food. They post their food, they post themselves just like on a jacuzzi, on like a balcony. What's that? It's just like you just want to get attention or something. But this one, it goes to the people, it goes back to the earth. So my answer to your question is, the results will come later when people are aware. And when people do join a Planet Cleanup, we're sure that this person is one less person in the world that would throw rubbish.
I think what you're doing is admirable. And I think each and every one of us could make an effort this week to do something about the plastic that we use. I'm on a committee of a condominium, and most of these people here are living in condominiums. When they go back to their condominium, talk to the front office. What are you doing about the rubbish and the plastic in this building? In our building, we've organized 3 bins, and people put it into each bin, and the girls have a financial incentive. They sell the rubbish, they sell the plastic, and they get back an incentive. And that's how we clean it up in our building.
Okay, that's a good idea. I was also thinking about it, because like when it comes to waste management, it's a whole different like I would say department, where, because right now the focus that I'm doing is more on the awareness part, because I think that's what needs to happen. Because without awareness, people don't care, like they don't know. But once they see like turtles dying, or like some of their favorite sea creatures are suffering, and they find out that those microplastics actually eventually end up already in our food, if no one does anything about it, it just gets worse. And it's like my philosophy in life is, if there's a problem, there's 2 things you can do. Number 1 is complain about it, or number 2 is do something about it. And I choose to do something about it, and that's how I started this.
On your right.
Yeah, thanks very much for that. It's in our condo, just they do separate the plastic bottles. I think they get 1 or 2 baht each for each one. So this is the cleaners and everybody. But as far as cleaning up the beaches, yeah, we are doing a lot here. There's 7 Rotary clubs here. 2 or 3 of them are doing it, have done it. We've done it with the Patio Council. They supply the truck, they supply the bags, and they usually give it 2 or 3 people as well. I noticed a few months ago Patio Bay was being cleaned by all the school children and everything. Yes, as far as this gentleman, it does come back. fishermen are throwing bags and rubbish into the sea, so it gets washed back up sometimes a few days later. But it is educating the children and everybody that this is what we must do. So we're getting there gradually. It was a very interesting talk. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Yes, sir.
Here's two examples here in Thailand. In 2017, there was a massive storm that wiped out a lot of buildings, a river that runs down to the ocean, wiped out everything. One of the local merchants there who had a pizza restaurant organized a group of expats and locals, and it was called I'm a trash dummy. And every Sunday morning there was a cleanup. They had yellow T-shirts, and there was free pizza at night, and you had to buy the beer. So that was very successful. Another good example is, I haven't been there in many years, but I lived in Toronto, Canada for a bit, and you could hear the trash trucks going down the street. Every day there were trash cans on every corner, and the streets at that time were very clean. And that's another possible way, is to increase trash pickup and allocate cans that are everywhere where people could deposit these things.
Yes, that's actually a good idea. I'll probably try to. I know some people in the city hall, when we phone them to request for a rubbish truck to pick up the trash that we collected. But I think, yes, that's one issue here in Pattaya, our local community, is the lack of trash bins. I don't know the system. I need to learn maybe there are certain places where they can actually put the trash bins. But yeah, that'll be in the process. Thank you for bringing it up.
Thank you for a very interesting presentation and quite educational as well. Some nearly 20 years ago, I was involved in the marine industry, delivering yachts around the world. And I've been halfway across the Atlantic Ocean, probably nearly 1,000 miles from any land. And we had to take a 1-mile diversion to avoid a big load of rubbish. And I know there's a much, much bigger one in the Pacific. So it's very hard if you're cleaning up coastal areas. Not everything is coming from the land to the sea. Some of it's coming back from the sea as well. So that's quite difficult. And I think particularly in Southeast Asia, one of the other problems is street food and takeaway food. I'm old enough, and I was brought up in the UK when the only takeaway food was a fish and chip shop, and the food was wrapped up in greaseproof and some newspaper, all fairly biodegradable. Now, and unfortunately I did notice it in part of your video, a lot of the food is distributed in polystyrene containers, and polystyrene has a huge long life. It's half a millennium at least before it biodegrades, and possibly even longer if they put it into landfill. So have you any ideas how we're going to get around that particular problem?
Right now, okay, that happened at a spur of a moment where they used the polystyrene because they were a restaurant, okay, and I said, okay, I can help you, like you can make some business, but I'll give you money and then you go ahead and give it. We didn't talk about it because it was just like a quick thing. Although right now we're more mindful about this fact. Like when we do go to cleanups right now, me and my wife think, okay, what's a good food to bring? We want to avoid single-use plastics, all these styrofoams, because it doesn't make sense. You go to a cleanup and then here you go, or you're adding up trash as well. Right? So there's also one thing. I have one way I think about it is there's so much plastic. You walk into Macro, okay, unbought plastic in packaging.
You walk through the aisle, it's all plastic, right? And sometimes I'll just think to look on the brighter side, it's better I buy it and I use it. At least that's one person sure that's going to dispose of it properly, right? Rather than someone buys it and just throws it like this. But it all boils down to awareness, okay? People are not yet aware. When they become aware and when they see, what our planet's situation is like, then, they'll say, oh yeah, actually, that's why they're saying single-use plastic is not good, right? So that's our mission right now. We're creating the awareness. And once they get more aware, they start to be more open to ideas about waste management.
When I was in the Dominican Republic about a year and a half ago, I witnessed something that I'd never seen before. And it was a garbage patch. I was sitting having a beer, watching the sunset, and I could see this large, dull area coming in. It was as big as 4 football fields. And when it hit the shore, everybody that was there, it was like a touristy area, but every person that worked, all the government agencies, there was garbage trucks, everybody started to clean up immediately. They've gone through this over and over and over. It's just, it happens, I found out, every once or twice a month. My question is are you finding the same floating garbage dumps happening in Southeast Asia like that also? Is there any ocean cleanup going on here? And are you involved in making governmental agencies aware of what's going on and getting their cooperation?
That's a good question. Okay, right now in the Philippines, a lot of the local government youth organizations, because they're the ones on social media, they're the ones reaching out and they want to collaborate. Get the Good News logo together with their local government logo, and then show it on social media that they're doing it. Although this problem of rubbish is really big, like one example is, I wouldn't know if it's okay to say it or something, but I've heard news, okay, like let's say for example Colan Island. Might be beautiful from outside, but there's a big dump site at the center of the island, if you didn't know that. That dump site is like, it's huge, and it's like all the polystyrene, styrofoam, plastic, it's all at the center. And what makes it a problem is when it rains. They burn it too. Yeah. Ah. Okay. I didn't know that, but they burn it. Okay, so yeah, there is this big patch of rubbish at the center of the island. I asked some of my friends who know people in the city hall around, and they say the reason is the government's not really giving a proper system for it. It's like they charge the resorts for a boat to pick up the trash and bring it back to the land. Okay, but some resorts are not willing to pay for it. They'll say, well, let's just throw it here, it's free, right? So it adds up. And what's kind of sad is when it's the rainy season, the rain seeps through all that rubbish, and there are parts in Colan where you can't take the smell. It just smells bad. It even gets bigger, okay? If we want to talk about the rubbish problem, like I have a friend who's a helicopter pilot, works overseas. He takes officers from the land to, what do you call it, the base that's in the middle of the sea. He does the logistics, okay, so helicopter. And he told me that when a helicopter breaks down, the amount of time and the amount of time to to request for the replacement parts, the amount of time used to repair the helicopter, let's say, would take a week. Within that week, one helicopter could make profit in just 3 days, and you could make back one brand new helicopter could be bought and could make back the money in just 3 days. So what do? They get a broken helicopter, order a new one, ditch the helicopter down the sea. The new helicopter comes, let's start making money. It's all about money, right? So yeah, it's kind of sad. And like, I'm only one. I thought about that one time. I was thinking, how can I make change if I'm just only one? We're just like one grain of sand in all the beaches of the world. How can you do something? You can't do it by yourself. You need people. And people give you ideas, share your skills together, and things can happen, change can happen, and that's what's been happening with here and like in the Philippines. So I'm happy where it's going. I'm happy that I'm here spreading the good news, getting some ideas and insights from you as well. So I really appreciate it. I think you have one more. Okay, guys, those you saw who were saying thank you to the leaders. Yeah.
Yeah, one more just before.
Okay.
No, you needn't get up. Okay.
Thanks. Hi, thanks. I think today's problem today is large can be attributed to industry because they pack everything in beautiful plastics. If I go to an electronics store and I buy a pair of earplugs, it's beautiful based in a plastic. It takes me a knife to unpack it because it's so stubborn and it just doesn't respond. And therefore, I think the government should do more to force industry to use less industry in their packaging, because everything is in packaging today. Whatever you buy, supermarket, wherever, even in 7-Eleven, everything is packed in beautiful plastic. And some of the plastic must cost a lot of money too. So I think it is quite costly from that point of view. In Germany, where I live, now the supermarkets have introduced a beautiful system. If I buy a bottle, a plastic bottle, I have to pay a deposit on it. If I return the bottle, I get the deposit back. That is a very good incentive for people to return the bottles because they want the money back. So that is my attribution to it.
Okay. Right, thank you for that idea. That's actually good. Thank you. I'll keep that in mind, and probably we could start in the smaller communities in the Philippines where they could actually do it. You know, we could actually put that into action. Thanks.
Well, I'm here to thank you for your talk, but I'm also here to thank you for showing such an exemplary example of what leaders do. And he's just put up his hand and said, I'm going to be a leader. So well done and thank you.
Thank you.
Oh, no, it's the least we can do. Also, just a couple of observations. Firstly, I go to Espresso Love. It's a cafe, excellent cafe. Actually, you can walk in and order a Coco Ren there, which is a frappe. But they serve all their drinks in glass, and then they wash them afterwards, right? So things like that count. And the previous owners used to give me a plastic, put everything in plastic. I'd take it home, I'd wash it, I'd take it back so they could reuse the same thing. And just annoying type things, right? We used to take all the plastic and all the recyclables and put them in the recycle bin, and then the cleaners started to complain that we hadn't put them in a plastic bag first before we put them in the recycle bin. So then I was notorious for refusing plastic bags at the local supermarket, so then I had to start taking plastic bags from them so that the cleaners didn't get upset, and I talked to the manager about it, and they were like, well, don't upset the cleaners. But I will say that I visited condos in Bangkok, and they're much more conscientious about really separating stuff out so it can be recycled. So there's positive things there, and this is one of the positive things we heard about today. So thank you, Chem, so much for coming and for what you're doing and spreading awareness. Thank you.
Thank you, Sir Ren.